Is up, everybody? I'm Steve SVU, and welcome to Week 5 of the MMC Draft League. My opponent this week is Patrick, owner of the Claire Kingdras, and let's get right into the team analysis. So Patrick's team is definitely incredibly scary, with both setup Quaquaval and setup Roaring Moon being able to do massive damage into my team, and you cannot underestimate the power of Sheer Force, Life Orb, Landorus, Incarnate as well. And on top of his crushing offense, he has amazing defense when it comes to defensive Moltres, defensive Screamtail, defensive Metagross, as well as Brambleghast. I do not expect him to bring Raichu, Ursaring, or Glaceon, however Muck is definitely a possibility here. I do believe that he is going to be bringing a core of Landorus Incarnate, Quaquaval, Roaring Moon, Screamtail, Metagross, and either Brambleghast or Moltres depending on how he wants to go at my team. And that is an incredibly scary core in order for me to try to break, as he has amazing defense and offense on both sides of the spectrum, and that's going to be very hard for me to break. However, my main goal this week is to be able to break through his offense, so then my defense is able to sit in on the walls that they are meant to check, and hopefully I am able to break through his defensive cores with my own offense. And we're going to be doing that by starting off with Heavy Duty Boots Cinderace. I'm definitely very worried about him setting up Stealth Rocks against my team, so Heavy Duty Boots on Cinderace is going to help remedy that. Pyro Ball, Gunk Shot, U-Turn, and Sucker Punch hits his entire team incredibly hard, and Sucker Punch allows me to pick off weakened threats. Pyro Ball lets me either 2-hit KO or OHKO just about everything that doesn't resist, Gunk Shot being able to do massive damage into defensive Screamtail as well, and U-Turn is able to allow me to pivot around as well as hit Roaring Moon insanely hard. However, I do have a bit of a speed issue, as a lot of his mons are able to speed boost on me, so that is why I decided to bring offensive Scizor this week. Finally, Scizor is no longer going to be relegated as the defensive Pokemon and instead meant to bring out really good offense. With Technician and a Metal Coat, Bullet Punch is able to 2-hit KO just about everything on his team not named Metagross or Quaquaval. U-Turn allows me to get really good pivoting on a good portion of his team, and after Swords Dance I'm able to really 2-hit KO or threaten OHKOs on just about everything on his team. Roost allowing me to keep myself healthy and around for a while is going to be incredibly crucial as well. But after all this crushing offense, I really thought I needed a little bit of defense, so that is why I decided to bring Physically Defensive Latias. With 252 defense and 160 HP EVs, I'm always able to live a triple axle from Quaquaval, even if he is Life Orb boosted, and I'm able to get incredible chip off with my Rocky Helmet. And with Psychic, Shadow Ball, and Ice Beam, I'm able to hit his entire team for at the very least neutral damage, and Roost allows me to keep myself generally healthy against a good portion of his team. 96 speed EVs with a Timid Nature allows me to speed creep a lot of defensive Pokemon, including Brambleghast, as well as defensive Moltres, or even fast Metagross. Latias is going to be a really big linchpin in being able to just switch around on his team, as this is one of my only Pokemons that resist Quaquaval's dual stabs, and I'm able to potentially neutralize it early to be able to get really solid damage into it. And speaking of defensive linchpins, I am bringing Cloyster off the bench. With 248 HP and 252 defense, I'm able to live even a Choice Banded Outrage from Roaring Moon, and I can potentially OHKO it with Icicle Spear. I'm also able to live just about any hit from Quaquaval, including close combats, and get really solid damage off, rapid spin away any hazards he's set up, or even be able to get a teleport into one of my mons that can threaten Quaquaval in return. Liquidation and Icicle Spear allow me to hit just about everything on his team for just about neutral damage outside of Quaquaval, and Heavy Duty Boots allows me to be able to switch in even if he has hazards up. And right after Cloyster, I really needed a little bit more special offense, so that is why I decided to bring Jolteon this week. With an Expert Belt, I'm able to 2-hit KO pretty much everything on his team, excluding Landorus Incarnate. However, I do have other plans for Landorus Incarnate, so this is mainly to be there after Landorus has already been chipped down or is gone. With Thunderbolt, Shadow Ball, and Alluring Voice, I'm able to hit just about everything on his team for super effective damage outside of Landorus Incarnate, and Baton Pass allows me to be able to switch out on a Landorus Incarnate that isn't set up with Rock Polish. And I'm able to speed creep pretty much everything fast on his team that is unboosted. Jolteon is going to be an incredibly good Mon this week, being able to hit Roaring Moon for quad damage with Alluring Voice, as well as being able to chip down Metagross and Screamtail with Shadow Ball, and potentially being able to neutralize a Quaquaval switching in should he decide to switch in on me, expecting me to go for Shadow Ball or Alluring Voice. And finally, I decided that I needed a little bit more speed to be able to outspeed his more boosted threats, so that is why I decided to bring Crocodile this week. With 252 attack, I do massive damage into large portions of his team with knockoff, earthquake, and close combat. And if I decide to lead him, I'm able to get rocks off really early. And 240 speed and a jolly nature allows me to outspeed a lot of huge threats, including Choice Scarf, Adamant, Roaring Moon. And I'm able to do massive damage to it in return with my close combat. And not even Landorus Incarnate, who is immune to Earthquake and resists close combat, loves to switch in on a knockoff as I get rid of its Life Orb. But that was week 5 of the MMC Draft League. Thank you all so much for watching. Don't forget to sub if you don't want to miss any more of my Draft League content, and I will see you guys in the battle. Welcome back to the battle, guys! Alright, so this is generally what I expected. Metagross is more than likely going to be weakness policy, I feel like. Quaquaval is going to either be a setup sweeper of some kind, or it could be support with Rapid Spin. However, Moltres is there, so I do believe that he is going to be like Boots Defog on that and run like a similar set to like Bulky Talonflame. And Quaquaval is mainly going to be a setup sweeper. Landorus is probably going to be a setup sweeper with Life Orb Sheer Force and either Nasty Plot or Rock Polish. I would not 100% believe that it would be physical, but it's definitely possible. And Roaring Moon is also probably going to be some form of setup sweeper. It could be banded as well, especially considering that not much else on his team really likes to be that. And then Moltres, probably defensive, while Screamtail is more than likely especially defensive, as that kind of hard walls Latios. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to just lead Cinderace. Okay. So I do Speed Tie, but I do not want to risk this at all. He might just go for a U-turn. I do think I'm just going to switch in Scizor here. I am not going to risk losing the Speed Tie here, and if he's Scarf, because he's not Booster Energy Speed, he's either Banded or he is Scarf. So I do believe that I just always switch into Scizor here. I don't believe he gets any Fire-type moves. Okay, and he predicts that. That's solid for him. It's just now I can also go into Latios here just fine. Gets a little bit of chip off. He probably can't go into Quaquaval here. He's probably going to go into Roaring Moon right away again. Yep, that's to be expected. And then more than likely going to go for Outrage again. I'm gonna go into Crook this time. Probably gonna go for U-turn. Okay. That's honestly kind of fine. I'm gonna go for my own rocks. I don't believe that's banded, however. That could be Scarf. Because even at -1, I don't think banded knockoff would do 80%, not 80%, 20%. I think that would do a little bit more. So I'm gonna just set up rocks here while he probably switches into Moltres. Okay, go for Quack. That is fine. Could go into Cloyster. Probably just going to... Might go for Ice Spinner. Okay, U-turn. Okay. That could be banded, honestly. Yeah, that is more than likely banded. And that is probably Scarf. So I just always switch in Crook here. Wow, okay, that did a lot more damage. He's just spamming U-turn right now. Okay. Could have gone into Scizor there. Losing this much HP is not very good. Patrick is predicting the hell out of me right now. I'm definitely put on the back burner here. He has all the momentum. I'm gonna have to play out of my mind for this. Could go into Landorus. Don't really have much for Landorus right now. Okay. If he is banded, which I do kind of think he is, his U-turn did solid like 60%. Max defense Latias. And going for U-turn over something like Flip Turn is more than likely to hit Latias for super effective damage, and U-turn makes it seem like he is not going to be, he could just go for CC, or he could go for Aqua Step. If he goes for CC, I just go Jolteon. Don't want to risk damage on that. I'm just gonna go Latias, get more chip off. Okay, and that is fine. There. Alright, and now... do I think he's maybe Scarf? You know what? I'm going to calc this. Latias. Quaquaval. I'm just gonna go for this. 100. U-turn. I do believe he is more than likely banded. Choice band. Yep, that had to have been. Had to have been adamant band too. I could just go for. Could go for Ace. I wonder. Senior Ace. Pokémon at -1 to 52 to 61. Okay, so I don't kill. How about... and I am SE at -1. Combat just kills. Okay, I'm just forced to go Jolteon here. I do think he's going to switch into Landorus here. I think I'm just going to use Alluring Voice, because Alluring Voice is enough to kill this, and it's enough to do heavy damage into Landorus. Ooh, that does nothing, okay. Fairly interesting. Okay. Yeah, he doesn't really have to predict at this point. I'm just gonna go in for Scizor. Earth Power does not do much. Well, I say it doesn't do much, but still does a good amount. Yeah, Patrick is cooking me here. Landorus, Wall Breaker. Okay, so he's more than likely not even Life Orb. Yeah, he is not Life Orb. Might not even be max special attack. Might even be like bulky. Bulky with Life Orb. Max HP. Wonder. There, and then let's slap on a Life Orb right after that. 64 to 70. Okay. Yeah, I have no idea what he is right now. This one's just tough. And Bullet Punch, if he is like bulky, then I'm just screwed. Hell, I'm screwed regardless, but right now I'm just like, okay, I'm just gonna go for it. At the end of the day, like, I don't think I can win without Latias anyways. So there. And then I know that Jolteon outsped. So now I can just go for this. And you know what? Fuck it. Weeball, Gunk Shot. If he switches into Moltres, this will take pretty solid damage. I don't want to click U-turn on it because U-turn will just straight up turn. It could burn me one side of the barrow. He probably isn't going to switch into Metagross. If he switches into just about anything here, Gunk Shot does pretty heavy damage. I just can't miss. That's the issue here. It's my hope that he switches into potentially Moltres or even Quack. If he switches into Quack, that's really good. Or even Roaring Moon, that's also good. Getting really solid chip damage onto Roaring Moon is solid. Yep, there. Okay. Alright, so then Moltres, Cinderace, offensive pivot. How much did that do? Alright. So he's definitely Fizz Def. It did 41%. He is at 43, so I need a max roll. Very unlikely for me to kill here. Could honestly roost. I think I'm gonna go Jolteon. So I think he's going to go into, and I could think he might go into, actually no, Landorus is not a solid play for him. Let me look and see how much Alluring Voice did before. Alluring Voice, how much did it do before this? Did 15%, okay. After Rocks, some more chip. Shadow Ball might be enough to kill. Oh, probably not. Kinda has to. I might be able to just Thunderbolt. I might just go for Shadow Ball, because then that sort of eases the prediction into Landorus while also hitting Moltres really strong as well. Okay, good. Alright. Solid. Took that out. Hell yeah, Jolteon. He can't go into Roaring Moon here. Okay, never mind. He is 110% Scarf. Actually, no. I'm going Cloyster. He's going for U-turn. Nope, he's going for Knock. That is fine. And he's more than likely switching, so I'm going to go for Teleport. Very good. And then do I want to go into Cinderace? Cinderace into Metagross, Bulky Attacker. Okay. So if he is not max HP, and in fact, okay, then after rocks is a guaranteed KO after rocks. What I think I'm going to do is I'm going to go Cinderace, and then I'm going to U-turn, because if he tries to, or do I want to, or do I want a Pyro Ball? Because he could just straight up kill me if he gets a weakness policy boost off. So I kind of just want to U-turn. Oh, please don't burn. Ah, god damn. Okay. Well, that sucks. Alright. Well, now I can just go into Jolteon and hopefully just like click really strong Thunderbolts. One time I hit the move into Moltres, I get the fucking Flame Body burn. Okay. Yeah, that is massive steer right now then. Granted, this entire battle has been steer, but now I just don't know what I can do at this point. Jolteon, I have to keep this thing preserved. What do I want to do? He's probably just gonna go for U-turn again. I'm just gonna go Ace. I know I can't really do anything. Yeah. Alright. Walk. Okay. Now he's gonna go for Aqua Step, probably. Honestly, I'm just gonna go for Gunk Shot. Man, okay. Because... okay, yeah, Aqua Jet kills. That is fine. I think, possibly. Yeah, because that's banded. I'm just gonna go for Icicle Spear. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That did pretty solid, honestly. Decent enough damage. Go for Liquidation. Okay. Alright. Now I just need to go Jolt. And I'll click Thunderbolt. I could have brought this back if I didn't get burned, but hey, I could have just not gone for U-turn as well. That's definitely the possibility. Okay. There. Get the -1. Okay. And then just go for the knock, I guess. Alright. And I'm just gonna hope I can live. Alright, I can live 1. And now Quack just kills with Aquabit. GG. Good game, Pat. I made a lot of mistakes at the start of the battle there. I could have crawled my way back, but hey, RNG wasn't in my favor. That's the game that we play. Really sucks to go back-to-back losing on LVL and MMC. But hey, that's the game we play. Sometimes you just got those. Overall, it wasn't a bad battle at all against Pat here, though. He's a very good player, so being able to take him down to 3 mons is really huge, especially considering that I was in a 2 mon deficit at the end there. I 100% wasn't expecting banded Quaquaval. I should have, but at the end of the day, like banded adamant Quaquaval, it's just gonna go really hard. It happens. Metagross is really solid here. Scarf Roaring Moon was really good. I didn't even get to see Screamtail, sadly, but again, I hopefully could have handled it if Cinderace didn't get burned and I was forced to, not forced to sack it. But generally, I really enjoyed this battle, even though you can't really hear it in my voice. It's just, you know, it sucks to lose, man. But hey, we keep going, we keep grinding, we'll get there in the end. But anyways, guys, thank you all so much for tuning in. I greatly appreciate it, and I will see you guys in the next one. Peace.